I quit. I quit thinking in my head of the goals I want to achieve and not pursuing them. That's a quote that comes from a guy named Kai. I think he started a small YouTube channel like 3 weeks ago or something. It's currently 4:30 in the morning. There's literally maybe one car on the entire road right now. I thought it was a really good time to talk about how to start your day better. I woke up today pumped. I woke up at like 4 a.m. today, full of energy. You know, there's not a bird, there's not a plane outside. I know that's corny. I just, I feel good. I feel like I have a lot of motivation. And I think that getting to that point to where your days feel good starts with a couple things. I'm going to talk about like 3 topics. The first one is really big. The third one is especially applicable. I'm really big on applicable advice. So one of the big things for me, and I think one of the big things that's just a universal truth, no matter who you are, whether it's your first day of college or you're running a $10 million company, is you need to start the day off with a win. In the last 3 years, ever since I got into sales, I've had to really reshape the way that I think about my mornings, the way I think about my day, because especially in sales, and I was in college at the time too. I was a college student and I was studying sales, and then I was getting into sales. One of the most important things is learning to master your day, learning to wake up, focus on the wins, because so much of the job, so much of your day is it's just about losing. And I know that's going to sound crazy, but like, it's just about losing. So your job is to figure out, how do I start by stacking wins? All the shops are open, which is crazy, or they all have lights on. I guess somebody's got to open, right? I'm gonna get really practical here. When you start every single morning, make your bed and do something to start the mind up. I know Kai, in his video, he talks about a little bit of lemon and hot water. I know a lot of people, they'd like to do like a dead hang in the morning off like a pull-up bar, or read 5 pages of a book, or maybe it's like just getting straight to work. Like maybe you skip the morning routine and you just jump right into work. I think whatever you can do to jumpstart like thinking, to get moving faster and faster, that's really how you get yourself pumped to start the day, because then you're not getting out of bed, and then scrolling on your phone. And once you make your bed, you're not getting back in it, because trust me, it's like you spent too much time doing that. You're getting up. Trust me, you're getting up. But not everybody can jump right into the big wins, So I think that if you're not that person, start every morning off with a small win and slowly progress, But the secret is, and especially like for people that want to be entrepreneurs, people that want some type of success, maybe you want to be like a YouTuber, you need to progressively win throughout the entire day, and that's how you carry that momentum. So now you're up and you have a win on the day. You feel good. Sometimes it's very difficult, especially if you're tired, you're struggling. Like, yes, you're up, but like you don't necessarily want to be. Sometimes it's hard to really be productive without a why. So there's a famous book called Start With Why. I'm a big believer in the fact that when you wake up every day, not only are you getting a small win, but you're getting the win in pursuit of your why. And your why is your reason for being. It's the reason you do things. It's deeper than money. When I hire a sales rep, and when I was hired originally, something that you always get asked in this world is, what's your why? And I'll tell you right now, it's not the money. I know everybody watching this, like if you're in college, if you're a teenager, your first thought is like, well, obviously it's the money. You paid me $500,000. Of course I'll go sell, ice to an Eskimo or whatever. pay me $1 million, I'll jump out of a plane without a parachute. Like, people say some crazy stuff. Reality is, it's not true. I've generated over $900,000, with my team and I've personally sold, just knocking on people's doors, over $500,000 in revenue. And I've worked with probably 80 or 90 reps on a team at this point that I've had the opportunity to talk with, discuss like sales with, see their stats on a day in action. Some of these guys I've worked with like hand in hand. And what I'll tell you is that without a strong reason to wake up, and you have to ask yourself, like, why do I care, right? And it's like, well, first off, you'll say money. Okay, sure, money. Okay, money's great. Why money? Well, because I've never had a lot of money. Okay, well, why does that matter? Well, because I want to take care of the people around me. Because I want to take care of the people around me. I want to pay for the things I've never been able to afford before. Okay, well, why do you care about that? And you'll get really deep. I think Simon Sinek is great for this. You're going to get to the point where, like, sometimes you genuinely want to cry. Like, it's an interesting frame of mind, but it will drive you to do things that you have never thought about doing, or pushing yourself. It's like if you're in the gym, you've got one more rep in you. You got one more pull-up. You could do one more rep on the bench. Why do you not tap out? Why did you do one more? And I can tell you, it's not, I know I'll put on muscle. Like, if that was really all it was, then you probably wouldn't have done it. And if you're not the type of guy to push for that little bit, the little squeeze, I can tell you probably don't have that big of a why. But this applies to everything. I believe that, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. And I think that the people that squeeze a little extra out of life, they'll never talk about it. Like the biggest streamers, the most successful people. Oftentimes they're people that maybe were outcasts. Maybe they grew up very poor, very insecure. Insecurity is huge. So the reason that they work as hard as they do, it's something that it's enough to make them break. So they would rather work hard every day to kind of make up for that insecurity. Now, hopefully the mic sounds okay. I would say the most important thing, the most important step to making your day great, and I think this goes a little bit deeper than, having your why is probably the deepest you can get. But I think this is the most important practical step that you can set up. And that's making sure that the night before, you are preparing to have a better day tomorrow than you did today. Once you stack the wins, once you've really internalized why you're even doing what you're doing, you have to make sure that you carry that momentum the next day and the day after and the day after. That doesn't mean burn out, because at least I personally, like, I can burn out, to be honest. Like, sometimes I'll just go in pursuit of the thing, and then I will wipe out for like 3 days, and I don't even text people. I just sleep in. So it is paramount that you focus on preparation for what's ahead. I think this is super practical. So every day, the night before, I prep what I wear, I prep what I'm gonna get done, and I keep that simple too. I'm like no more than like 2 or 3 things, because I don't want to overwhelm myself. So you focus on what you can control. You think about that the night before, so you know what you're gonna achieve the next day. You focus on prepping yourself mentally, and then you take the actions to get that done. You go to sleep. I don't care what your sleep schedule is, to be honest. Like, Mr. Beast is notorious for, going to bed at like 3 a.m. after a shoot. And I know some very successful people that wake up at like 5 a.m. You do you, but Focus on mentally prepping yourself and giving yourself the best odds of success for the next day. And I know that not everybody has that purpose, that why, the thing that drives them. If you've thought about it and you've tried little things, you've tried the drop shipping, you've tried mowing lawns, in between classes, and you still it's tough, you don't know what to do. You can click the link in the description. I do like this free quiz thing if you want, where you can see if you would be somebody that would be good at sales. It asks you all the qualifying questions. And if you are, it's basically like a boot camp where for 100 days, you learn sales ahead of time and you go out and you execute and you just try sales every day for the summer. And it pays exceptionally, but more importantly, it builds the mental aspect of that, which is huge. And if that's not your thing, that's totally fine. I really want you to try and take this advice to do something that maybe is outside your comfort zone, something that you really want to do. And I think that most importantly, sometimes you will get overwhelmed. And when you do get really overwhelmed, I do have some advice on that too. It's somewhere around here. I want to keep you around. So if you want to check that out, click somewhere and it's here or something. That's all I got. Check that out.